Well, Rick, you got the hoodie on. We've got the signs behind you for Hockey Fights Cancer Night. What does it mean to just take part in a night like this?
Well, it's with awareness, and it's just the NHL does a great job with that. My brother went through it, so it's close to your heart, and you love seeing the signs that people are who they fight for, and it's great awareness. And like I said, the NHL does an unbelievable job with it.
Does it hit home that much more with what Dakota's just gone through?
Yeah, it does. It was a tough thing to hear when Dakota got it, and then now he's better now, and now it's he's doing something he loves, and he's grateful for it.
We get so wrapped up in our daily lives, but
Yeah.
when people actually go through this, Rick, to really put things in perspective.
Yeah, I think sometimes all of us, and myself, we're grateful playing this sport, and sometimes when you're the doldrums and all that stuff, you think how lucky we are. So sometimes you need these reminders, and this is a sort of thing where it's nice to recognize people.
I saw DPD walked in. Have you made a recall?
Well, we didn't have an extra defenseman.
Okay.
Vinny was banged up just in case something happened today. So it was just a precautionary.
Bruno, obviously,
Yeah.
as a Adams Trophy finalist. You played with him briefly, I believe, in Washington. What do you have to guard against tonight against a Bruno coach team? I know they're struggling, but you saw in the playoffs what kind of game they can play.
Yeah, they're listen. I don't look at their record. I look at the coach he is and the personnel they have. They're a desperate team. They're very desperate. We have to match desperation. We know that's an important game for them, and it's an important game for us. So, I'm not sure we should be waiting to see how they're going to come out. I think we know how they're going to come out.
I don't know if you talked to Bruno during the season, but they're kind of in a similar situation. A couple of high-profile free agent signings.
Yeah.
They haven't quite got traction yet. They still got Forsberg on a heater, and they got a pretty good goalie. So you guys are kind of going through a bit of the same thing, trying to get more out of your teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're trying to find a 60-minute consistency. I really don't know their problem, to be honest with you. I know that they have some really good hockey players there, but just for our team, I'm just looking for a 60-minute consistency effort. Listen, we're a result-oriented business. I get it, but the results for me don't matter if you're not doing the process. And I think we just, I thought last game was a step in the right direction, and the one thing with this team, I'm proud of them. They don't throw a lot of duds. They might they might have a bad game here or there, but they do correct themselves pretty well. So I give the players a lot of credit for that.
We saw Brock in the hallway with Bo the other day, just in sweats, just talking. You talk about this 2 or 3% improvement with Brock. Is there any idea where he's at and where he might eventually be able to do something in the gym? Or?
Yeah, I think he's stepped it up, and I don't know you got to get the heart rate thing, that protocol. I don't know to what extent, but I know that he's done more and more every day.
Is it Lankinen tonight?
Yes.
Lankinen against Saros then.
Yes.
So lots of incentive.
Yeah, buddies.
Yeah, it's not done on Buddy, but it's done on merit, but that's an interesting match.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure he's anxious to play, and it's always nice to play your former teammates.
Then already give you some semblance of confidence too with your 6-gamer coming up. I mean, you're going to need everybody.
I've loved Artie's last 10 days. The Abbotsford start, his practices, his attitude, his body language, everything's been great. His second and third period, I mean the whole game, but I thought when Chicago made a couple of pushes there, a couple of side-to-side plays where when the guy shooter had, I was from the bench, I watched, it already looked big. There wasn't much room, so that's the confidence we like to see in him.
Department of Player Safety has a tough job. You've always said that. But Reeves got 5 games today. I can only imagine what a coach would feel like if that was, say, Quinn coming around the net and somebody got him in the train tracks. Do you worry about that?
Well, I mean, you got to have awareness, obviously. I'm not sure Reeves tried to do that, but you are responsible for that. That's a hit. We got to get out of the game. Maybe you have to change. I always say, I remember I had to change the way I hit. I got a couple of suspensions with my knee a couple of times. It wasn't that I was trying to knee a guy. That was just my style. Had to change it. Same thing now. I think you got to make sure that you're really almost get lower now. Even if you're a bigger guy, you might almost have to crouch down and just target like the chest. Or if you're too fast there, you might have to board it and just basically have body position, stick on puck and play it that way. I know everybody likes the big hits, but But I think sometimes you have to, like the NFL, they've changed some rules where you can't do, and you might have to change the style of way you hit or the details of it.
I know it was only one game, but Ratu had a good night. I mean, 6 hits, good in the circle, had a couple of scoring chances. What did you see him?
I like the fourth line, him obviously included. A lot of possession time, a lot of connection. I thought the game before they gave up about 3 odd man rushes the first 3 shifts. I think this game they were more conscientious, but they were also in position to come up with loose pucks if there was a battle. So when you're close and you stick with somewhat with the system, usually it works out well for you. And I thought that it worked out for that line.
Ratu can get there, but he'd probably like to notch it up one on the speed element. How can he work on that? Is something that a player that young can get better at?
Well, he's 21. The biggest thing with young guys I find, you remember it's the NHL, they get the puck and right away they go into awareness mode. They start to look who's around and they don't move their feet. Where you get away with it in junior and stuff in the AHL a little bit, but up here, I'm a big person. You move your feet, then look for awareness. It's not awareness, then it's skate, then awareness. And I think we've been telling our players this year a lot. Not just him, other guys. It's the better way to play. You're going to get more chances that way.